Hi everyone. Today, with the coronavirus pandemic still out there and everybody being encouraged to wear face masks, I thought today we would stamp some material to make our own original face masks. Here's some that I've made earlier. More masculine one. I'm not going to show you how to stitch them all up. Below you'll find a link to a video of a lady who shows you how to sew them, and also gives you another link where you can download the pattern to make them. They have metal inside to shape around your nose and keep them more securely fitted. I think it's a very good pattern. You don't need anything particular. As crafters, we've got hundreds of stamps, and mostly these ones I've just used ordinary polymer stamps, another example. And these as well were I just went through my collection of stamps and found more masculine circles, so I could use those. For the inks, I have some fabric ink, but you don't necessarily need to buy fabric ink because the VersaFine Clear inks work fine if you've got some of those, and any pigment ink you have may possibly work. You'll need to iron the fabric on the back and then on the front before you make it up into the mask to make the ink permanent. And what I did was I tested my inks first. I stamped some onto fabric, ironed it, and then hand washed it in hot water, and the ink hasn't faded very much and it hasn't run into the rest of the fabric. And with the stamps, I've just done a test stamp onto a small piece of fabric first, just to make sure that the design stamped well and how I liked it. For the material, I just cut up an old cotton pillowcase into lengths enough to cut the mask patterns out of. This one's quite a thick cotton, but you know, I'm sure a lot of us have got fabric around the house that would work perfectly well. They do advise you to use cotton fabric for the mask because it will wash well. You'll also need other fabric as well to make the lining inside. I've used a slightly thinner pillowcase for that, but it's still cotton. So let's get on and make our original masks. these are a couple that I made earlier. This one's using a feather stamp, and then this one is more of a masculine one, and there's the other half. That was just using different stamps from different stamp sets that had a more masculine feel to them. I'm going to show you how I make the adjustable nose strip that goes over the nose inside the mask. On the pattern you get two pieces of paper. One is the nose piece cover, so you want to cut a piece of material to that shape, and then the other one is this 3-inch bar. I've actually made mine longer because I prefer it to be a bit longer. What I used is one of these aluminium pie dishes. You need something that's quite stiff, not a thin one. Okay, then cut off a strip, and then you want to make it straight. So I've got a metal ruler here, and a scoring tool, and I'm just going to score along it to get a straight edge, and then cut that off. And then this little section is 1/4 inch. So I'm using my mat to help me here, and I'm going to section off 1/4 inch. And then another 1/4 inch, and then another 1/4 inch. It doesn't have to be totally accurate, just near enough, okay? Then cut that one off. So using your score lines, mind you don't cut yourself because this can be very sharp. Fold that first one in, squash down with a bone folder, and then fold the other one over the top. And again, squash that down with your bone folder. Then you've got your strip, and you can cut it to the length that you want. So I want mine to be the same as this one. And what I find is helpful is to get some double-sided tape and stick it along the length. This one's 1/2 inch tape, so I can get 2 pieces, and then just snip it off to the width of your tape. this bit on the other one. And do the same. Save that one for another mask. Okay, give it a quick burnish down with your bone folder. Then, on the lining of your mask, from the top, fold the seam in sideways, one way or the other, and then take the piece of double-sided tape off of your aluminium strip and then stick that along the seam for about an inch below. Try and get it even as well. That isn't. So you've got half one side, half the other. About there. Still not, I'm not doing a very good job of this. That's better about there. Okay, and then that will hold that in place for you, and then you put your other strip over the top and then you sew around there. So there you go, fairly easy.